God damn this last olive.
Texting.
How the fuck are you supposed to get this last olive?
1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have the see this. You got chubby little digits. You can't get in there.
I got little sausage.
Get the little sausage fingers in there. You know why it's you know what? It knows. It's like that sock in the dryer that clings that you can't. Remember that one sock that hangs on for dear life? You can't quite get it. Anyway,
even with your freaking
segment 2.
Oh dear God, he's going in with 2.
Well, the ladies like it. Anyway, segment. Segment 2. This man is a shameless clown. This is IUD.
Get that damn
I don't disagree. That is the redoubtable one. The birthday boy, Tom Izzo. Happy 40th again, brother. I am the highly questionable one with my digits stuck in a freaking olive jar because this man ate 39 of them and he can't let one go. Okay.
I'm going to have to pour some of the liquid.
Nope.
Got it.
Of course I got it.
Olive with the jalapeno in it.
Yeah.
Probably the best stuffed type of olive.
Shameless plug right there. There it is. Zoom in on that puppy right there.
Aldi.
Aldi are the best. Aldi, one of our proud sponsors. They don't even know it yet. One day when we're famous, they will.
I just ate 20 olives in the span of 3 minutes.
Well, lucky for you, there's 20 calories in that whole thing.
Good thing I walked for 2 hours.
Isn't that wonderful? 20 calories. I don't think they're gonna stick.
NFL preview. Week 3.
Yep. Listen to this. Now hold on. Here's the deal. Okay. The birthday boy has a first place showdown Monday night. And his team is actually in the game. Okay? So, and favorite, I might add.
The Giants.
The G. Could this be the return of the G-men?
Did you know that in the papers up there they call them the Giants?
I did not know that.
J-I-N-T-S.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if this was back in, my grandfather used the Giants. My grandfather used to call them the Giants, and I asked my dad why, and he goes, They used to. That's what they used to call them in the paper, the Giants. Interesting.
That's fascinating.
Okay, sorry.
So anyway,
Giants and Cowboys Monday night.
That's going to be.
So we're starting with the last game of the week.
We are because we're going to talk about it twice because we're going to preview it before it starts. Or we're going to do it Sunday night after if he gets back from his pickleball tournament. You better win that fucking thing. Anyway, listen.
Cowboys made a statement on Sunday though. Because everybody was like, Dak is gone. Cowboys are done.
I think the Cowboys did, for the first time, they did something that I haven't seen them do in decades. They played smart. And what I mean by that is their game plan was, we have 2 running backs that we know are good. We're going to milk them for all they're worth. We're going to run first. We're going to pass to score and run to win. And when you have 2 backs like that, you can do that.
Dude, Pollard is...
He's a
really good.
Yeah, and people have been saying this. So they split the carry. I think they ran more than they threw it.
What did Zeke do?
I don't remember.
Not as much as Pollard.
No,
right?
Pollard had the better day. But I
know Zeke is a good back.
No, he is a good back. He's been a Pro Bowler. But if you look at what he did on Sunday, that game rather, I have it right here. I'm pulling up the stats on it now. I mean, here it is, the box score. The Cowboys in that game, dare I say it, played smart football. They ran the ball. Well, it was It was 27. They threw it 4 more times at the end. All right. So it was 27 rushing attempts, 31 passing attempts. That's good balance. In fact, that is balance. Okay. They ran for 107 yards against a very good Cincinnati defense. They were in the Super Bowl. They were a top 10 defense last year, and they did it with their backup quarterback, who, by the way, was 19 of 31, not great, but he took it 1 sack, no turnovers, threw a touchdown pass, had a QBR of 78.
Cooper Rush
outplayed Joe Burrow.
That's 2 weeks in a row Joe Burrow has been outplayed.
Well, Joe Burrow.
And the first week he was outplayed by Mitch Trubisky.
Joe Burrow, with his whole get used to it, doesn't understand the league he's in. Well, I think he understands it now. Welcome to the NFL, Joe. The NFL stands for not for long, Joe. Not for long. Okay, because when you win in this league, the next year, they figure you out, and you have to adjust because they're coming for you. They're not going to bow to you. Okay, if anything, they're going to try and knock you off that perch. And you are in a division with Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
But I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
What the hell is wrong with Cincinnati?
Well, the first game was 5 turnovers. That's a no-brainer.
But why were those? I get that. But is there a reason for the turnovers, or is there a reason for the lack of scoring? And you know what I'm saying?
I would argue
turnovers, lack of scoring.
If we're being fair to Burrow, and I'm a fair guy, at least I try to be, he went against 2 of the top 4 pass rushers in this league in week 1 and week 2. Because T.J. Watt is that dude, and Micah Parsons is that dude. And they would have given a lot of teams trouble. So if we're being fair to Joe, it wasn't like it was the Texans, okay, and the freaking, I don't know, pick a scrub, Chicago. Okay, it wasn't that. Okay, he went against a Super Bowl, the AFC champs. He went against Pittsburgh, who was a playoff team last year, who's in their division, who knows them, and then Dallas was a playoff team in the division, NFC East last year. So they were playoff teams with their front sevens are both, I would say, top 10, top 12. So those two guys alone would have given any team in this league trouble.
I guess I just expect a little more from them.
Well, because Joe Burrow set the bar up there and he started flapping his gums. Problem is, Joe, sound travels, usually to the opponent's locker room. Okay, and when they hear it, get used to it. You think Pittsburgh, an organization, there are two organizations with 6 Super Bowls, mine and theirs. You think a team that's won 6 Super Bowls is going to stand there and listen to this hot shot rookie or say, get used to it? Like, oh, we're going to just bend over and you're going to, no. Mike Tomlin ain't that guy. This ain't Jason Garrett. This is Mike Tomlin. he ain't no. And by the way, the dude, I don't like the guy in Baltimore, Harbaugh. Harbaugh's not that dude either. He's a former pro. He ain't going to take that shit lying down. Because remember last year, before Baltimore got injured, they were the number one. They were 8-3. And then the injuries, just talk about getting bludgeoned by injuries.
Yeah, they do.
They got destroyed by injuries. And they had the best record in the conference when that happened. So you think those two organizations, who both have more Super Bowls than Cincinnati, I might add, are going to roll over and die for Joe Burrow?
So do you think Joe Flacco has a chance to beat Joe Burrow this weekend?
I do.
Really?
I'll tell you why I do. Because I don't think Cincinnati really thinks they're in trouble yet. I don't think they understand that.
If they lose to the Jets?
I don't think they're already in trouble. Listen to me. And you and I talked about this in our preseason preview. The AFC is loaded.
0-2 is bad.
It's loaded.
In the AFC.
0-2 is, first of all, here's a fun fact for you. Since the NFL was at 16 games, now it's 17, but when teams start 0-2, they make the playoffs on average 10% of the time.
Sometimes they win the Super Bowl, like the Giants.
Like the Cowboys with Emmitt Smith. Like the Patriots with Tom Brady. They were 1-3. Okay? But that's 3 teams out of that's 3 teams out of what? 1,000 in that time span?
But 0-3, the percentage goes
even further. And the Jets have confidence. And they have playmakers. They have playmakers. But
they have
the cupboard is not bare.
But Joe Flacco. Okay, so
is he a better quarterback? No, he's not. But I don't think
about the Jets. Yeah. They had no business beating the Browns last week.
The Browns.
Sure, they did, but
the Browns gave that away. They gave that away. In fact, Nick Chubb, to his credit, he took. But oh my God, a guy took responsibility.
But to me, it wasn't even his fault. Okay, because so he runs in the end zone for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. The next drive, on the first or second play, they just let a receiver.
What the hell? He ran down. Did he even make a move? He ran down the sideline. It was a go route, and nobody on. Flacco looked up and went, "Huh?"
So the DB gave it to him,
and the safety. He ran by the DB, the inside linebacker, and the safety.
Okay, so with a minute 50, they give you a touchdown. Yeah. Then
you botch the onside.
The onside, they bring in the hands team. Amari Cooper's looking at the ball like, do I pick it up? Then you let him come down. It's like, okay, so the Jets had to come back and do that in order to win it.
Yeah, but Cleveland,
God.
That was a comedy of errors.
It was bad.
That was dare I say it, that was the way the Dallas Cowboys would lose normally.
I mean,
it is. That's how the Cowboys lose. Well, Cowboys have lost games just like that.
But it's also typically how the Browns lose.
Yes, it is.
The
curse has not been lifted, people.
It's
true.
So I know, true.
Did you drink that?
I did. Okay, that was bad. That was bad. I wonder how many calories was in that.
I'm assuming 20 would count with the whole thing.
I don't need any more.
No, I know you don't. Think about me here. Anyway.
Okay, sorry. I got us sidetracked a little bit.
Yeah, slightly. Anyway, so here's the thing. Let's look at this schedule real quick. Because you know what? You got to really see.
Should we start with the Thursday night game?
That's a Donnie. Look, let's talk about that.
Okay, so the
Cleveland
Thursday is Pittsburgh at Cleveland.
What are we doing for the menu? We're doing the what?
Pierogies.
That's the pierogies. That's tomorrow.
Pierogies are on the menu tomorrow night.
It's going to be glorious.
We're going to do pierogies and kielbasa.
Oh, it's wonderful.
which is such a great combo.
It's such a great combination. It really is. Talk about starting off your weekend right.
Yeah.
See, we do it here. We do it right here in the SEG.
do.
We don't cut corners. Okay, and we start on Thursday because fuck
right.
you. That's why. Okay,
So yeah, Pittsburgh,
anyway.
Cleveland. I highly expect Pittsburgh to win that game.
That game is in Cleveland.
It is.
That makes it. I'll tell you right now. Don't be surprised. That comes down to a field goal.
Well, so here's
Don't be surprised.
here would be my question because I haven't watched Pittsburgh.
Okay.
As much. Mm-hmm. How did they do against the run against New England?
I'll tell you right now. This is the thing. Oh, the garlic is the second best one.
Let me have a garlic.
Here's the thing.
And I ask you that because of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Here's the thing. With regard to the Steelers, and we had actually mentioned this before we went on the other night, briefly. People are calling for the kid Pickett from Pittsburgh. And I understand the appeal, and the kid looks like he's talented. But the reality is, in fairness to Mitch Trubisky, who's in a new system now, his first two opponents, defenses, are Cincinnati, Super Bowl representative, and the Patriots, who were the second-ranked defense in all football last year. And he struggled. Holy shit. Like, all the last 2 days,
Week
ESPN.
one, I thought he looked pretty good.
He did look pretty good. They were crucifying this kid, and they're forgetting the opponent. The opponents. If Bill Belichick is, in fact, the greatest defensive mind of all time, and Mitch Trubisky has never seen him as a player. He was in Chicago. He never played. He never faced him. He was on the bench. He never faced him. Okay, so he has. It's one thing to see. It's something to play against it. Okay, and when he had Tom Brady, he being Belichick, he could baffle Josh Allen like crazy because he had a guy who can go toe-to-toe with him. The bottom line is, this is no shame in that. And if you think Pickett would have fared better against Belichick or against that Bengals defense that was top talent, no freaking way. No freaking way. So, and by the way, every Steeler fan that I have talked to said they were going to be 1-1 after 2 weeks. They thought they were going to lose to Cincinnati and beat the Patriots. Well, they're 1-1. It just went backwards.
Yes.
So they're right where everybody thought, who was a Pittsburgh fan that I talked to, thought they should be. This kid played against 2 top 10 defenses. What did you expect him to do?
But you said it right there. I think that's what's messing their heads up.
Yeah, well, they're looking at it from the wrong
They thought
perspective.
they weren't as good as Cincy. They thought they were better than the Patriots.
Exactly.
So when they beat Cincy, they said, "Oh, well, we're definitely better than the Patriots." And then,
Why? The Pats were a playoff team
That's
last year.
fans.
They're stupid.
And to your point, styles make matchups. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a worse matchup for you.
Mitch Trubisky played against 2 of the top 10 defenses statistically in the NFL last year. And they both got most of their pieces back. In fact, the Patriots made a point to get younger and faster. So they were a top 5 defense last year, and they went out and got younger and faster. They held the Miami Dolphins. Remember that? Hey, Baltimore, top 42 points. The Patriots held that on their field in Miami 30, because one was a strip sack for a touchdown. Oh. The Patriots defense held that Miami Dolphins to 13 points, but Mitchell Trubisky was going to rip them out. Are you on crack? Are you on crack, you dumb? And I'm not talking about, I'm just not talking to the Pittsburghs that are dumb. I'm talking about the idiots on ESPN who keep saying, they need to go to Pickett now. You think Pickett would have done well against that defense with that speed and Matt Judon or against that Cincinnati front? No, he wouldn't have. He'd get his ass kicked.
Did you see the distance on that piece of olive?
Where? They came out of olive?
Yes.
No, but I'm sure it was
it was significant.
I'm sure it was quite impressive. I'm sure it was
better
than that kicker from Denver, I'll tell you that right now. And I bet it went straight.
All right,
anyway, so
let's not stay too long on this game,
but
what's your thoughts on it? Who wins?
I got Pittsburgh in a very close game because I think they have the better quarterback. Yeah, and I think look, hey, by the way, Cleveland has a good front seven too. So I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but it's going to be close the whole way. We're going to be sitting there screaming about plays. Like the fun thing about these games is every play we're going to script. So I have Pittsburgh in a close game tomorrow.
I have Pittsburgh in at least a touchdown.
All right, that's still a close game.
Well, but I mean, when you think of like a spread, like that's not really a close game.
It's in Cleveland. That's why I'm saying a field goal.
Here's why I think
if it was in Pittsburgh, it's like 10 points.
I think last week broke Cleveland. I think they're going to be in after that.
Or they're desperate.
That's true. That's true. I think it's going to go the other way, though. I think that.
Mind you, Cleveland is 1-1.
Losing.
They're not 0-2. They're 1-1.
And they beat the Panthers the first week.
They did. So anyway, barely, but they did. All right, so then let's go. All right, so now here's the thing. If you look at Sunday, listen to these: Ravens, Patriots, Packers, Bucks, Raiders, Titans, Chiefs, Buffalo, Miami.
Detroit, Buffalo's going to stomp.
Detroit, that's going to be a fire. That's going to be a fire show. Because they think so. They're both going to put up a lot of points. Buffalo, I think, is going to win that.
Score on them
with those two guys. Miami could score on anybody with those two guys.
But can they
keep up with them?
Can they stop the D?
Buffalo's D is better than Miami's. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Buffalo's D is better than Miami's, and their quarterback. Hey, Tua's having a hell of a season. Don't knock, but Josh Allen's a better quarterback. But he's not that far. He's not. It's not a blowout. He's better. Buffalo, I think, wins that game. I think they win by about 10 points because it's in Miami. But I think Miami keeps up with them for a while. That's going to be a high
similar to how the Jets came back against the Browns. The Ravens had no business blowing that game.
No, they didn't.
If they had just played prevent defense, they probably win that game.
I have said this to you and all the guys around here more than once. More games in the NFL are lost than won. It's true. More games in the NFL are lost than won. What you saw last Sunday, it happens all season, every season. It happens all season, every season.
They were up 35-14, weren't they?
And going into the fourth quarter. They gave up 28 points in the fourth quarter.
And how many times did Tyreek Hill get past your defense?
Listen.
Get your guys the hell back.
The Patriots held that offense in Miami to 13 points. If Bill Belichick hadn't hired that dickhead, Matt Patricia, to coach the offense, the Pats would be 2-0 right now. Which is why I think the Pats are going to ultimately miss the play. Because that idiot's not going to get fired because Belichick will never admit he's wrong. So anyway, but the bottom line is,
let me ask you about
Vikings, Lions.
That could be.
That's going to be there, bro.
The Vikings were so disappointing on Monday night, though. After stomping the Packers, to have a no-show against the Eagles was upsetting.
I was so hoping you were going to bring this up.
What?
Well. That word that he hates, facts. Do you know what I think he's a top tier Mr. Cousins is on Monday Night Football? He's 2-10.
Oh, yeah.
He's terrible. He threw 3 picks on Monday night. He threw 2 inside the Eagle 20.
Well, that's always been his thing. They say in prime time
talk about they have, and we talked about this, the 2 wideouts, Thielen and Jefferson, and that running back. What's running back's name?
Dalvin Cook.
Those 3 guys are as good as any 3 guys in this league. But they have the same problem Tennessee had last year. They had Tannehill, they had this guy Cousins. And that's why they can't. Because he will fuck them every time they get close to doing something. And he didn't disappoint on Monday night. Yeah, and I got to ask you, you were right about Detroit. Exactly. That's what Minnesota fans think of that quarterback right there.
So you think Detroit is a real deal?
I think Detroit has
They're a competitive team.
I think they're better than competitive. I think they have a running game that can actually, because the NFC is not deep. Yeah. Doesn't have a lot of talent. There's 2 or 3 front runners, maybe 4 at the most. But then after there's 7 playoff spots, ladies. 7 teams have to get those. There now. Don't be shocked if Detroit stays healthy if they run their way into a wild card spot. Their running game is that good. Their offensive line is that good. And their quarterback has been to a Super Bowl.
Jared Goff has looked pretty. Some of the throws he made.
He can throw.
Who were they playing last weekend?
They played
the Skins.
They beat the Skins. Yeah, they beat the Skins.
Commanders.
The Commanders. And look, the Commanders.
Jared Goff made
the
some
Commanders.
Nice
The Commanders are better this year. Whether people want to admit it or not, they're a better team this year. Their defense is healthy. Okay, they've got the best.
Carson Wentz looks decent.
He's having a good so far. He looks pretty good. Okay, he's had some bad
yards.
Yeah, he's doing well. So I'll tell you now that they are, if they stay healthy. Now, the one problem with the Lions, I don't know how deep they are. If they get hit with an injury bug, that could derail their season. But if they stay healthy, they have a shot because they have a quarterback with experience. Their offensive line is underrated. And they got 2 backs. They got 2 backs that they know how to use.
And they have a legit number 1 wideout in Amon-Ra St.
He
Brown.
He is quietly become a very dangerous player in this league. So I think healthy. They stay healthy. Watch just like the Giants.
Yeah,
Giants. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a lot of.
All right. So are you going to say that the Lions are beating the Vikings?
Where's the game? It's in Minneapolis. That's a tough one.
It's a dome.
It's a dome, so
right?
Yeah, it is.
They're both playing domes.
It's tough. I gotta side with Minnesota.
You say Minnesota,
but I think it's close. In fact, don't be surprised if it goes to overtime.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
I think it's very close. Only because they're at home. I think I give them a 3-point. I give them that gentleman's -3 when you're at home. Otherwise it's an even game. If they play at Detroit, Detroit's a touchdown favorite.
Yeah.
If it's in Detroit, and I'm not going to be surprised if Detroit. I am picking this holding my nose. I am picking Minnesota, but if Detroit wins, I'm not going to be surprised. But I think Minnesota ekes it out. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
And then you've got Eagles, Commanders. The Eagles look like the Eagles.
Eagles are going to win.
They're going to beat them. They're going to beat them because they're. Well, where is that game? It is in Washington. Well, I give them a puncher's chance.
Washington is terrible home field advantage.
They do, but they're better home than they are on the road. They're a better home team than they are on the road.
Are they?
Yeah, I still think the Eagles are going to win that game, but I think it's close. Because it's in Washington. If it's in Philly, Philly wins by 3 touchdowns. Well, this is the other thing. Washington's defense is healthy, but the problem is Detroit, their running game is what
it's
killed
healthy, but Philly, they don't have Chase Young.
Philly has the best offense. They don't have him again. He's still out. Yeah, that's it. So it's not healthy. They don't have their best offensive player.
Mm-hmm.
And Philly has the best offensive line in the entire NFL. They have a better running game than Detroit. So, yeah, I say Philly by 10 points Sunday, that one.
Looks like Philly's going to win the East.
Here's an intriguing one. Cougars, Chargers.
Who?
Cougars? I mean Jaguars. Cougars. That would be intriguing too, wouldn't it, ladies? Okay. Jaguars, Chargers. Why do I say this? The Jaguars.
Because they stomped out the freaking Colts.
I got news for you. The Jaguars could win the AFC South.
They have a running game too.
They have 2 backs.
Yeah.
And Peterson is a quarterback who's a coach, and Trevor Lawrence. This is night and day. Him from
Doug Peterson is good for him.
He is. He's the best thing ever going to happen to him. This dude,
dumbass. Who was dumbass last year?
Oh, Urban Meyer. That dude should never coach a game. Should never be on a sideline again.
That was bad.
Never. That was he quit. He's a quitter. He quit in the middle. That drives me nuts. At least finish out this. Be a man and finish out the season. To walk away like Rick Pitino did that on the Celtics, I'll never respect him again. If you walk out on a team in the middle of the season, weak sauce. At least finish it out. You made your bed. At least lie in it. Don't just go shut it down and walk away. I gave LeBron credit for that last year when the Lakers when he blew that. That was right. At least he manned up and he finished the season out, and he averaged 30 points a game, by the way. So he went out swinging at least. I give him credit for that. But Urban Meyer, forget it.
But anyway, I don't know. I feel like the Chargers are by far the better team.
On paper, they are, but I don't. I said the one problem with the Chargers is I don't trust that coach.
Who's their coach?
Stan Dusky, the guy who goes for it on 4th and 30. That job, okay? 4th and 30 on our 30. Yeah, I think we can make it.
So right now, the Chargers lost to the Chiefs last week. What did they do week 1? They won, right?
They beat the Raiders 24-19.
Beat the Raiders.
Who are 0-2 because they blew another blown game.
Raiders, man.
Another blown game. So that game is in.
It's in Los Angeles.
It's in SoFi. All right.
Or wherever.
I think the Chargers win that game, but that's going to be closer than people think. I say San Diego by a touchdown.
All right. How about Rams, Arizona?
I don't know what
because now that the Cardinals have that crazy win, maybe they start to turn it around.
Uncle Mo is a funny man.
Week 1, they looked horrible.
Uncle Mo is a funny man. Because when he shifts sidelines, he shifts sidelines.
Oh, my God. And
Uncle Mo.
Big time.
Oh, did he ever? Yeah. And, if you recall, last year in the playoffs, this is the team that spanked Kyler Murray from pillar to post. He threw that awful pick when he was in the end zone getting sacked for a touchdown. One of the worst.
Oh, the Rams stomped them on the way.
That was one of the worst playoff performances by a quarterback I've seen in the last 20 years. It was that bad. It was embarrassingly bad. It's one of those where you take your ball and just go home. Shut up and go home. Don't say nothing. Don't wave. Don't wait. Just leave. Go home. The door's over there. No, just go. That's how bad if Kyler Murray is what I think he is, at least as a competitor, that game is going to be very interesting on Sunday because he remembers that game. Because that's the game where everybody started saying, does this kid even study the playbook?
Yeah.
Because he made so many bad decisions in that game. It almost like he never played football before. It was embarrassing. So I think that makes that very interesting. And look, the Cardinals have firepower. They got weapons. They got him. They got receivers. They got a lot of weapons on that offense.
Really
they really do.
That's why, but God,
and it's in Arizona.
The Raiders blowing
it's in Arizona.
That game. That was a bad.
That was a bad loss. It was a bad loss. Do we skip over who are the Raiders playing?
They're playing Tennessee, and after last week, after losing to the Giants, and then just getting stomped out by the Bills, they're on life support.
They got hornswoggled.
I
said Ryan Tannehill couldn't do it when he had weapons. Doesn't have them now. And the Raiders can't go 0-3 in that. Think about that division they're in. They cannot lose that game. See, the thing about Tennessee, they have the advantage of at least it's Jacksonville, and it's the Texans, and it's the Colts. That's their division. They could actually go 0-3 and still come back. The Raiders are not going 0-3 and coming back in that division, barring the major.
All right, who's the most disappointing team for you?
Right now?
You can give me a couple if you want. Throughout
I don't think it's one, do you?
What?
I don't think it's one, do you?
No, there's multiple.
I think there's multiple. If we're going to, all right, so I would say Cincinnati, obviously. And
the Raiders.
The Raiders. But the Raiders the Raiders lost at San Diego. The Cardinals were a playoff team last year, whether you like it or not.
But they had no business losing
they should have
that
lost
game.
that game. They had a 20-3 lead. Or 23 to whatever it was, 7 lead. And they blew it at halftime.
That was terrible.
But I said Josh McDaniels was he's.
Is he going to be a bust again?
I was so happy when he left.
But you said he was going to do good things out there.
I thought, well, given the weapon that
it's only been 2 games.
The Denver team that he went to looked nothing like this. He didn't have a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. He didn't have the best receiver in football. He didn't have any of this stuff. He didn't have a tight end like that. He didn't 1,000-yard like he didn't have weapons like this in Denver. I can understand why he failed in Denver. The cupboard was bare. This Raider cupboard is not bare. It's full. It is full.
Packed.
It is full, and it is in its prime.
I'll give you a more disappointing team than both of them.
Both?
The Colts. Signing Matt Ryan. Tying against the Texans. Okay, listen to these 2 games. Okay, so you just pointed out, the Raiders lost to Chargers.
The Chargers are a lot of people's favorite, and the Cardinals were a playoff.
The Colts tied the Texans and got shut out 24-0 to the Jags. That's disappointing.
Well, it is disappointing, but
to go from what they did last year?
I can't speak for the Texans. I don't know what the Texans are. The Jags are better than they were last year, significantly. Does that mean they're going to do anything? I don't know, but they're not going to win 4 games this year. Or 3. They're going to be better this year, significantly. So I don't know how bad that one is. On. But the Texans are bad.
Shut out?
They lost to him last year.
The best running back in the league.
Yeah, you do.
You got a new quarterback.
Arguably, yeah. Who's won a league MVP?
No, I think Pittman was out, and Pittman's their number 1 wide receiver.
He is. That hurt. But they didn't score at all.
They didn't score.
They didn't score at all. I would...
what the hell?
I don't think you're wrong, but given the opponents... Given based on last year. Hold on. You may be right. Hold on. Let me see.
I think they might be the most disappointing. Although, Carolina.
Well, no, but we didn't know. We don't know. The Carolina lost at the buzzer on a 59-yard kick to the Browns.
And then they lost to the Giants.
They lost to the Giants are in first place. The Giants are healthy. The Giants have a head coach that came from Buffalo and New England.
I agree, but the Giants have beaten the Titans, who look like they stink.
The Titans, to me, I said we're going to be the bust of this season.
Right.
I said that before
they beat the bust of this season.
So I'm not surprised.
And they beat Baker Mayfield.
But the Giants would have found a way to lose that game last year.
No, yeah. I'm not disparaging the Giants. I'm just saying.
I think it's a toss-up. Given expectations, the Raiders were a playoff team. The Colts weren't last year. The Raiders and Cincinnati, to me, are the 2 biggest ones.
The Colts didn't make the playoffs?
Nope, they missed it because they lost to the Jaguars on the last game of the season when Carson Wentz had pissed himself as bad as Kyler Murray did against he was just as bad.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they didn't get in. The Raiders were in. The Bengals were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Bengals lost to a Dallas team that didn't have their...
Yeah, that's pathetic.
That's bad.
That's bad.
I mean...
And they lost to Trubisky,
who hadn't started a game in 2 years. Again, Mike Tomlin's
the Bengals.
Mike Tomlin's ahead of... Well, Pittsburgh was a playoff team last year.
I know, but
I think the Bengals... They were at home. They were at home again. They should have won that game.
And the entire overtime, they didn't have T.J. Watt.
Nope.
Come on.
I agree.
I
agree with you.
Weak.
You're
yeah,
right.
You're right.
I'm saying it's the Bengals and then the Raiders for me. Because they were at home. They should have beat... Look, I'm not saying the Steelers shouldn't have given a game. The Steelers usually do. But they should have won that game. 5 turnovers, and they lost by 3 because they couldn't get out of their own way. They couldn't kick a fucking field goal.
Well, they missed an extra point to
lose
lose the game.
Point too.
That's terrible.
I mean, that's terrible. So, I mean, but this is the thing. This is where I give, when the Patriots, they didn't lose games like that. That's why they were great. They won the games they were supposed to win. The Bengals don't lose at home to Pittsburgh with a brand new quarterback. I don't care how good Mike Tomlin is. The game could be close. That's fine, but you got to win that game. And then Dallas lost Dak Prescott. That's the one I can't forgive. And they lost to Pitt. When you lose a game at home like that, you usually come out the next week and you steamroll You steamroll that next
did not.
opponent, and the next opponent didn't have their freaking starting quarterback. And they never, in fact, I don't think they ever led in that game.
Yeah, what was it? And the final score, it wasn't
20-17.
Yeah.
Their offense has been anemic.
Joe
And again,
Barrow?
look, Micah Parsons, I get it. I get
He's
that.
a monster.
I get that game being a low-scoring game, but Cincinnati should have been able to finagle another touchdown. They just should have.
Yeah.
And they weren't. So I'd say it's Cincinnati, then Pittsburgh. Then the Raiders right now. Okay? And then I think the Colts. Okay.
It's a pretty bad.
That's
couple
pretty bad.
games.
Those two guys are bad.
Well, because last year it was kind of like the Colts have everything they need except the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, well, Matt Ryan, I mean, he's still got it. He's still got something left.
Well,
Does
if
he,
he
though?
doesn't have his best receiver and his line, by the way, their line sucks. I don't know what the hell happened to that line.
Does it?
Dude, he had 2 seconds to throw the football. Half the game, he was getting pounded before he got through his first read.
I would think that running game, with how good that running game was.
They're not
last
run
year.
blocking either. These teams are putting 8 in the box because they know they don't have the number one receiver. They've got no depth at the receiver position, and they can't block him. So now he's in 3rd and long. He's getting pummeled. Okay? So listen, this is a snowball effect. But, I mean, the Colts should have won. The Colts should have beat the fucking Texans. Yeah. I mean, that's the one I won't forgive. Okay? The Jaguars look like they're a better team than they were last year, and they beat them last year when they stunk. So, I mean.
Who did the Texans play last week?
The Texans lost to.
Did they play well last week?
They did, actually. They were in that game. They were. Hold on, I have it right here. The Texans lost to. Who was it? Where are you? They lost to Denver at Denver 16-9. A touchdown at Mile High.
Denver's been kind of disappointing.
They lost by 1 point at Seattle. Well, that was the call. That was the 4th and 5. That clown.
And did they lose again this weekend? Or did
No, they beat them.
They beat the Texans.
So they're playing San Francisco with Jimmy G. What do you think of that one? Jimmy G versus Russell.
I'm thinking San Fran's winning that game.
Where is that game? I think you're right. If it's in San Fran, I definitely agree with you. Where is that game? Hold on. It's a 4 o'clock start. No, it's in Denver.
I think I still go San Fran. Just because, what the hell's wrong with... I mean, Denver just seems...
I don't know. Russell Wilson, if he's who he thinks he is, needs to tell that coach what he's going to run on offense. He's got to take control.
So would they score 16 points 2 weeks in a row?
They have, yeah. They're the only offense worse than theirs is the Patriots. Patriots have averaged 12 points a game. That's how they are 1-1.
Well, that's good.
It's amazing.
To be 1-1.
Well, their defense. I will say this, and again, it's 2 games. He's right, small sample. But the Patriots' defense does look younger. It does look faster. A lot faster than it looked at the end of last season. They look like they can run. They've got they can tackle and they can close. So at least so far. And one of those offense was Miami, who has 2. That 1-2 is as good as any 1-2 on the outside in this league. I don't think you disagree with that. I don't think you would. I think you put that up with anybody.
Tyreek.
I think they're as good as any 1-2 punch on the outside in this league.
They're both fast.
They're both fast. Waddle's tall and can run every route. I mean, the cheetah, when he's jogging, looks faster.
Who is the best 1-2?
It might be them.
Yeah, it might be them.
I mean, if Godwin ever gets healthy and you have I put Evan and Godwin up there for Tampa with them.
Evans gets suspended for this week?
Yeah, because he hit that clown. He threw him on the game.
He shouldn't have done that.
No, but I get why he did it. But
why'd they give him a game, dude? Couldn't they just?
I don't know. Latimer is always. Latimer has been in so many of these with everybody.
Him and Latimer have been in many.
They've always, yeah, but I'm saying Mike Evans doesn't normally do this.
Yeah.
Like Latimer does it with everybody. Okay, he's an antagonist. He does it with everybody. He's got a track record. Mike Evans just finally said, "You know what? Fuck you and your bullshit." But the thing is,
so were you saying Godwin and Evans,
when they're healthy, are as good as those two? I think they are, because Godwin is a bigger version of Julian Edelman. He literally is a bigger version of Julian.
Big too.
He's big, and he can run every route. When he's healthy, Brady targets him 11 times. He catches the ball 10. Okay, and he moves the chains. So I think it's
Jefferson and
Thielen. They're right there. They're right there. Vega, Devontae Adams and Renfro. They're very good. So I mean, I don't know who Stephon Diggs in Buffalo. I don't know who the other number 2 is for Buffalo.
I think it's Gabe Davis now, isn't it?
Is it?
But he's
not.
New.
Yeah, he's new. He's not. He's good, but he's not. I don't think I'd put him there. I mean, so it's probably those 4.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you might have been right when you said
I think
Waddle and
Waddle and Tyreek Hill right now are number one. If Godwin and Evans are healthy, then they're right there with them. And then the two kids in Minnesota. Those are the top, I'd say the top three, I think.
Well, and then you got Sterling Shepard and nobody fucking knows.
Nobody.
That was a joke.
Hey, Sterling Shepard has looked good.
Oh, I know.
You gotta give it to him.
No, but I said, but nobody.
There's nobody.
You don't know any other names.
Your old Mother Hubbard and only Tom's in the cup.
Redskins actually have a couple of good receivers.
They do too.
This guy Curtis Samuel,
he looks good.
He's good.
Yeah, I mean, did you look at? This is the thing. That NFC is going to be wacky this year. Some of these teams are. A lot of these teams are better. I think the Giants are better. I think the Commanders are better. I think Detroit is better. Philadelphia is better. I think there's a lot of teams in that league that took a step up, and some of these teams came back to the pack a little bit. The NFC is going to be kind of wide open. You watch, and somebody happens every year. Somebody's going to get hit with the injury bug. If Tampa didn't already,
Dallas already did.
Look at Tampa's rap sheet. Tom Brady won last week without his 1, 2, or 3.
And his wife and his kids.
He didn't have any. He didn't have a tablet. Smashed the tablet.
Right.
No
smashed
tablet.
The Surface Pro.
No tablet. Yeah, he did it without. He's an alien. Tom's an alien. So anyway, that's gonna end it for us for tonight. Happy birthday! Oh wait. My man is 40.
True.
He's like my younger brother. He really is. So I couldn't not. Now again, I went through the grapevine for this, but anyway.
What'd you get?
Anyway, I'm going to tell you.
My opening.
Now I've known him 5 years now. To my knowledge, and I could be wrong, I've never seen this with him. So I'm hoping, and if not, then he needed to do this anyway, because you always every couple of years you need a
A refresh.
so, an upgrade, if you will, maybe perhaps. So anyway, it is his
a
birthday.
hat.
It's not a hat.
Did you wrap this?
Anthony wrapped it.
No way. Anthony did not wrap it. Good wrap job.
I said wrap it until he can't see it. Is this good, Daddy?
Oh, wow. 2 hats.
Show the crowd, show the audience.
We got a Mets hat and a Giants
Brand
hat.
new what is it?
Giants.
Giants.
The Giants.
The Giants. So
My
anyway,
head's a little
now that
big.
you got to keep that one on for now. Well, that's adjustable. But now this one you got to wait till Monday night.
Okay, I got to wear this on Monday night.
That's the money you got to Donnie on Monday, but you got to keep the Mets on for now because they're in Donnie's every day. But Cowboys,
Where'd
Giants.
you get these hats?
I went to Lids.
Nice.
Get the
You went to Lids?
Yeah.
Where is there a Lids?
In the Chesterfield Mall.
Town
Yeah.
Center? Well, thank you, dude.
Yeah. No, happy birthday, brother. Thought I
Appreciate
forgot my
it,
brother.
dude.
Forget my brother.
No, I don't expect
I love the fact
presents.
that nobody said anything because he thought he didn't even think he was getting it, so he was surprised.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Of course.
My work goes down here. Work goes down here,
I
people.
would have said something.
Yes. So anyway, your wife.
No, she did tell me you were getting me something.
Damn it, Casey! You couldn't just keep one day. You had no problem driving around the heat with those bagels, though. I'll bet.
She didn't tell me what you got me.
She shouldn't have said nothing. The idea was for you to not know anything was coming.
Well,
Anyway,
I didn't know this was coming.
that
It's
is
a very
all.
nice surprise.
That is all from the sack
You shouldn't have
tonight.
spent money on
You're my brother. Stop it. That is the redoubtable one. Happy birthday again, brother. 40.
you.
Welcome to middle age, where things just start falling off, and you can now sleep wrong. That's a wonderful surprise. I slept wrong.
I'm overweight. I've been sleeping wrong for years.
That is the redoubtable Tom Izzo again, the birthday boy. I am the highly questionable one. We will see you at some point on Sunday. Sober, I don't know, whatever.
I'm going to have to start wearing a hat now with you.
That's all right. Well, you better be wearing that one for the duration of the
So
playoffs.
here's the thing. I never really wore hats straight.
Well, I got you the.
Because I always had the hip-hop feel to it, so
That's old school, brother.
little...
You gotta do this. I'll show you the lid. You
side.
got the old school. Like
No, this is... It's
on the
already,
side,
a formed lid.
yeah, but you can actually make it better. You can. I'll show you.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It is pretty good, but you want it sort of like closer to this. But
That's a little too much for
no. I've seen guys like you can't see their eyes.
Well,
That's crazy.
like the rednecks down here used to, like, basically...
Yeah, that's not
shit,
that. No,
man.
you can see my eyes. The redneck, they want to be shady. I want to be shady. I want some shade. I want to be shady. That's the
Remember
point.
they would have, like,
So-
the little hook on the side?
Yeah, that's a fishing hook. They go
is that what
fishing.
that
Yeah, they
was?
go fishing. It's fishing hook.
Very southern.
I used to fish. Not well. I was almost fun.
You
but-
used to put a hook up there?
when I went fishing. When I went
wow,
fishing.
okay.
If I went fishing, I had it up
Okay,
there. Otherwise,
okay,
no, I just leave it
okay.
there. They'll leave it there.
Yeah, no, I knew
Going
guys
fishing
that
next month.
put their hat on and
Yeah.
it had the hook on.
Yeah. So anyway, You guys have a great end of your week. Hey, tomorrow, Thursday, NFL football, Donnybrook, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Mets, Braves. We'll be watching, and the judge is on the watch.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, Braves, Phillies.
Braves, Phillies,
Mets
yeah.
are off
A lot
tomorrow.
of good Mets are off tomorrow. So you guys have a great rest of your week. We will see you Sunday some point in the PM. Hey, football is back in full swing, and we have pennant races, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the shows. Enjoy the games. We will see you in about 96 hours.
96, good math.
Math is my thing.